Hello and a good morning, good afternoon and a very good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you are today, hope you are feeling grand and all is well in your world. Hello there everybody. I have really itchy nose all of a sudden. Today's video everybody is a dedicated to this man. And the reason why this video is called Charlie the Wolfman Sylvester the Perfect Hero is because he was the perfect hero. This man here was one of the most awesome people I have ever met in my life. And today's video I dedicate to him. I want to talk to you about things he taught me and what I learned from him. And I also want to talk about how I met him and kind of like, you know, how that came to be. And I was lucky enough to have him as my friend for however he sadly passed away in 2016, and I knew him I knew him and I got to play music with him a lot over the years, the few years I knew him. But it is one of those things of I wish I knew him longer and I wish he was still around. So anyway, so this video is all about Charlie and the fact of he is a perfect hero, and the fact he's exactly, when you talk about heroes and you talk about your heroes, you perceive them to be a certain way. You know, you perceive them to be a certain way to you when you meet them. Being a mega fan or a super fan of theirs, you know, when you meet these people, you'd expect them to be a certain way, and unfortunately, sometimes that just isn't the case. Not so with Charlie. Charlie was a gorgeous human being in every way, shape and form. He was just brilliant, and so I'm going to talk now quickly about how I met him and what. It was quite a funny, quite a weird circumstance actually in the way we met, and kind of went from there really. But what happened was I was doing a gig in Leicester with the Dave Simpson Trio. We were doing a gig, and it was an audition gig for a festival, and it was basically like, you know, you went up and there was judges there, and you played, and if they liked you, you'd get invited to the festival to play. Anyway, when we got to the venue in Leicester, Charlie and his band, the Broombusters, were setting up on stage, and we didn't think anything else of it. You know, they were just the band setting up on stage. We were on last. Anyway, they set up on stage. They sound checked, and immediately I was just like, their sound check. I forget what they did for sound check. I just remember it being awesome, and I was immediately drawn to Charlie, as Charlie was the singer frontman of the band, and he was just such a commanding presence, and I was just drawn to him. Everyone was always drawn to Charlie. He just had this thing, call it charisma, call it whatever you want to call it, but it's something so special. Anyway, Charlie played, and then the other bands went on soundcheck, and because we were on last, because we were on last, we soundchecked last. Doesn't really make sense to me, but anyway, we got our stuff on stage, and we soundchecked Voodoo Child. Now, I didn't know Charlie was a Hendrix fan. I didn't know he was a super Hendrix nut. I didn't know that at the time, because I didn't know him. So we soundchecked Voodoo Child, and we finished our soundcheck, and Charlie came literally running over to my side. I was on the right side of the stage, and he literally came running over to the side of the stage, and he put his hand out to shake mine, and I put my hand out to shake his, and he grabbed hold of my hand, and one sec, and he said, you touched me, man. You touched me with that music. You really touched me with that music." And he was smiling and he was laughing, and it was wicked. And I was just like, this is just ridiculously cool. And I was just couldn't stop smiling. He was so cool. And Charlie, when he wanted to talk to you, he would keep holding your hand. I didn't know that at the time, so he just kept holding my hand, and he was telling me, like, you know, what time are you playing? And because he said, "Oh, we've got to go back to Birmingham because that's where Charlie came from, Birmingham." And he says, "What time are you playing? Because we've got to go back. That's why because they were playing first." And he says, "We've got to go back to Birmingham. So what time are you playing?" I said, "We're on last." And he says, "Right." He says, "We're going to have to wait and see you play later on." So I was immediately massively honoured, to have somebody like that, because I didn't know anything about him at that point in time, but he had such a thing about him. I wanted him there. I wanted him to stay. I wanted him to stay, especially after talking to him about, and that. Anyway, the gig progressed. Watched them play. They did Hoochie Coochie Man. They did like a Rolling Stone. They did No Woman No Cry. They did Hey Joe. They did all these songs, and I just couldn't. I couldn't tear myself away from them, watching them play if I had to. And Charlie was dressed like that at the time. He would always wear these cool hats with feathers in them. He would wear these kind of crazy, amazing, colourful outfits. It was just so amazing. And they played. I was just in awe of them, in absolute awe of them and him. I just immediately was just like, I want to be him. I want to be that cool. I want to be like him. He's just so cool. Anyway, true to his word, they stayed and we played. And I dedicated Red House to him that night. We played Red House, and I did it specifically for... We weren't supposed to play Red House. It was... and I didn't care about the competition by that point. I just wanted to play for him. That's all I wanted to do. So anyway, that gig went by. We swapped phone numbers while I kept his phone number. And I said, I'll have to get you a gig in my local town where I live, at a bar I know. And he was like, yeah, that'd be great. So, a little while later, I forget when, it was the same year, a little while later, I got him a gig at this local bar that I play there a lot. And he came down, the Broombusters came down, and they played, and I got up with him. That was the first night I got up and played with him. And Charlie wanted me right next to him to play. He didn't want me anywhere else. He wanted me next to him. And Charlie was really tall. He was like 6 foot something. He was a big guy, and I'm not a big guy. I'm a scrawny little white guy. I'm nothing. But like, he made me feel as tall as him, and I felt like no matter what I wanted to do that night on guitar, I could do it. I could pull it off. No ifs, no buts. And there's footage of that on YouTube, and it's in the description box below. And there's a couple of other links as well in the description box below as well to footage of me playing with the Broombusters and the Broombusters. So we did that gig. Actually, funny enough, the first thing that Charlie said to me that night when I walked into the bar was, "Where's your guitar and amp?" Because I didn't bring it in with me straight away. Because he said, "I want you to play with me," but I didn't bring it in straight away. And he goes, "Where's your guitar and amp?" And I was like, "It's in the van." He goes, "Go and get it." So I had to go and get it. And anyway, that was the first night I really got to speak to him properly. And we were just talking about Jimi Hendrix and Bob Dylan and Bob Marley, and we were just talking about kind of this and the other. And it was just an immediate connection. A really strong connection I had with him. Musically and just on a level. I felt very, very connected to him, very, very attached straight from the get-go. Even at that gig in Leicester, I felt attached to him, but even more so after I'd played with him as well. I was just like, this is just... I want to know you for the rest of my life, kind of person. I want to be near. I want to be near you. So that was kind of the start of it, really. And then the place, by the end of the night, the place was so busy. I have never seen that pub busier ever again since. I have never seen that pub as busy as it was when Charlie would come and play with the Broombusters. It was just crazy, and sorry, everyone, I'm struggling, actually. I'm finding it quite hard, but we're going to keep going. So yes, and I say, by the end of that first night when we were playing, the place was just absolutely... Those people out the door, people who couldn't get in, it was just amazing, and it was such a good atmosphere, and sorry, everyone. Getting a dry throat, but yeah. And it was just amazing, and the owner of the bar was like, "We're booking you back next year." And thus started the Broombusters' annual trip to my hometown to play. and they came back the next year, and I played with them again, and they came back the year after that, and I played with them again, and we did a couple of gigs here and there, and again, all the footage of these is in the description box below. And every time I would get up and I would play with them, and every time I'd be stood next to Charlie. He would always be on my left side. He would always be always on my left. Anyway, and so yeah, and that happened, and then every year we do a little festival, mini festival. It's like a little family friend kind of festival. We do it at one of my cousin's mum's house. We do it every June or July, depending. And I thought, we're gonna have to get Charlie to come and play. We're gonna have to get Charlie and the Broombusters to come and play, like, you know, and play that little festival. And I remember we contacted Charlie and said, like, you know, would you be interested in doing it? Well, we actually contacted through his daughter, who was his booking agent, and we said, would they come and play? And I think it went something along the lines of, if it's Dave, we'll go and play. If there's Dave there, we'll go and play. So basically, like, they came to this little back garden, which is where it's held. It's not like it's in a field or anything like that. There's no stage. It's just a back garden. And they came and played, and they just played. I think they played for about 2 hours straight. Even longer, actually. I think it was even more like 3 hours. They played for like 3 hours straight. They drove over from Birmingham, which is not a quick drive. It's a good 2.5 hours, 3 hours if you get caught in traffic, drive. And then they drove back that night. But they played for 3 hours. Everyone loved it. They were playing One Love. They were playing like all these reggae tracks, these ska tracks, these blues tracks. All the Jimi Hendrix tracks Charlie dedicated to me. He was like, this one's to Dave, this one's for Dave, and this one's for Dave. And we got to play before them as well. And it was just ridiculous. And I got, again, talking to him was just amazing. And it was just wicked. It was absolutely wicked. And again, I was doing the sound that night, and I was just like, again, every time Charlie got up to play and sing, I was just 100% focused on him. I just loved him, and it was just really, really cool. And I don't know if I think I've got a little bit of footage from that night, but it's on my Instagram. Anyway, they came back again, and the year after that, and played the same bar they would frequent. Now it was like an annual thing. Again, every time they played there, the place was rammed full of people. Like I said, I have never seen it that busy since. Or before that, I had never seen it that busy. After that, I'd never seen it that busy again. Charlie could just hold a crowd. He could bring a crowd in and he would hold them. He was just the perfect frontman. He was the perfect like musician. Absolutely awesome. And that was that. And then the last time I saw him was when we went down to visit Jimi Hendrix's flat in London. And I was going to go and play with him that night. They had a gig in Camden, in this little bar, and they were playing down in this like little basement kind of area. And anyway, we went to Jimi Hendrix's flat, and then we went to play with him, and it was just. Again, it was just like there's footage of that as well. It's on the Hendrix Trip video, and I was playing my white Strat, and I'm really glad it's my white Strat that it was the gig. Anyway, we played that gig, and I played with them for a good half an hour, 45 minutes. I was playing along with them on this, that, and the other, and afterwards I was talking to Charlie, and Charlie was. He was talking to me, and another thing I want to talk about as well. I'm going to have to go back. I've kind of jumped ahead here. I want to talk about something else in a minute, but we were talking at the end of the night, and I didn't know. You don't know. It's one of those cruel things of life that you don't know. This is the last time you're going to see someone, and we were just talking. We were just leant against this wall. Like the left side of the place, the stage area was like down there, And we're just leaning against this wall, and we were just talking about music and Jimi Hendrix, and he was just talking about how when he saw Cream back in the day, and he saw, he saw all these other bands as well, and also I'll tell you about Charlie's history in a sec, but and we were just nattering away about guitar and music, and we had to go because we had to get back to up here, and it was a good 5-hour drive from London back home, and it was raining, it was grim, and it got to about 12 o'clock, and we had to leave. So I said goodbye to Charlie, and he says, and this is hard. The last thing he said to me was, he says, "One day, Dave," he says, and he held my hand. I shook his hand goodbye, but he didn't let it go because he wouldn't do that. He would always hold your hand when he wanted you to pay attention. That's what he did, and he shook my hand, and the last thing he said was, he says, "One day, Dave." He says, "One day." Hang on, I'll get it. Just give me a sec. He says, "One day we'll have to have a serious talk about your guitar playing and how good it is, and how you don't know how good it is." Sorry about that, everyone. That got a bit much, but yeah, because he loved my guitar playing. He loved the fact I could play like Jimi Hendrix, and he was always saying, "You don't understand what you can do," because I put myself down a lot. I don't like to think I'm anything special on the guitar, because I don't believe I am. But he did. He really did. He was always trying to like lift me and talk me through, and and he just and you can see in the footage how much my playing meant to him, and how much he enjoyed it and loved listening to it. And there'd be certain solos that would extend and extend and extend. He would just keep me going, and again, yeah. And that was the last thing. That was the last thing he said to me, and we never got to have that conversation. And it's one of those cruel things of life that, that I would give anything to have that conversation with him. Anything. Just for an hour. Yeah. Anyway. So that was the last time I saw him, and I didn't know any since then. I didn't know. And anyway, that was the last thing he said to me, and we in person, and we spoke obviously throughout time, and then they played the Birmingham Jazz Festival, I think, or something like that. They played the festival, and I was going to go across and play with them, but something happened I couldn't get, or something happened. Anyway, it didn't happen, and you just don't think everything. One of the cruel facts of life is everything seems limitless, and everything seems like it'll just go on forever, and it just doesn't, sadly. And you only have a certain amount of time when you talk to people. You just don't know, and it is the cruel fact of life, definitely. Anyway, and then one morning I woke up. I didn't think anything of it. I was another morning. I woke up and I checked my phone, and his daughter had put up on Facebook he had passed away, and I broke down immediately, like I am now. It's just like, I just didn't want that to be true. That's not true. It's like, that doesn't happen. No, and it really hit me hard. And to this day, well, early 16, 4 years later, I still can't get over it. It was, he wasn't just my friend, he was my hero. he was, he was one of my heroes in so many ways, and he left such a mark that, like, in such a brief period of time as well. I mean, it was only a couple of years I knew him. I don't know exactly how many. I can't think well enough to do it now. But yeah. So and he passed away, and I didn't know, and it was so quick as well. Like he got it was cancer. He got diagnosed with cancer, and it just got him as quick as it could. And it was just hard. Went to his funeral, and saw his family and saw his daughter and whatnot, and it was really difficult. It was really difficult, and it's funny. It's really funny because I catch myself sometimes thinking, I wonder when Charlie's coming back to Louth to play at that bar again. And then I have to remind myself, and it's a cold smack in the face when you realise that's not going to happen again. You're not going to get up and play Hey Joe with him again, or Little Wing, or anything like that with him again. It's just not going to happen. And it's really hard to swallow. As we've all been there, we all know what this loss feels like, And it's just hard work. It's just hard to do that. And there was times, I remember buying a PV Bandit, the Silver Stripe Bandit. I remember getting home, and I bought it in this room, and I was playing it down to literally there. And I was playing it, and I was playing, I think I was playing Hey Joe. I was playing a song I played with the Broombusters. And I was like, and I said in my head, this amp will be amazing. This is a good 2 years after he passed, or a year after he passed. I forget, I don't know. And I said in my head, oh, this will be an amazing amp to use next time the Broombusters come. And then I found out, it's not going to happen. It just rips you up again. And then it happened with the Fender Champion 100. When I bought that Fender Champion, I was playing it in here, and I just caught myself again going, and I actually said out loud, Charlie would have loved this amp. And it hit just smack again. Anyway, another thing I want to tell you about too is, like, I remember one time we were in this bar, that bar we would play in town. And we were sat on a settee. Me and Charlie, we were sat talking. It was the band. They were on a break between sets, and we were just sat on this settee talking. And reggae was playing. They used to bring their own sound system, and they would pump a load of reggae through it, reggae and blues. And there was this reggae track playing, and I can't remember what it was for the life of me. But we were talking backwards and forwards about guitar playing, and he would always. Again, he was always trying to big me up, and he's like, he didn't like that I'd put myself down a lot about my guitar playing, and he was always like, you don't understand what you can do with the guitar, you don't get how special what you do is, and to this, I don't, like I said, I can't think that way. I don't allow myself to think that way, but he did. He thought that way of me. Which means the world to me. To have somebody who you look up to as a hero, to say that they love the way you play, and in fact it's so special. Like, he was so adamant. Like how he was so. And anyway, we were talking about that, and he was talking about. He says, you've got to come over to Birmingham more, and you've got to do this, and you've got to do that. And looking back now, I would have moved. I would have moved to Birmingham if I had known that it was such a limited time. I would have moved there, but it's one of those things you don't know. You don't know. You think you've got all the time in the world, and then you just don't. It's horrible. But. I remember we were sat on this settee, and it was a good half an hour break, and we were sat there for half an hour. It was just me and Charlie, nobody else. There was nobody else there. Everyone was outside smoking or they were drinking. They weren't paying attention to us, and we were in our own little world, just talking. And it's one of the best memories of my life. Just been sat there, playing music with him was ridiculously awesome as well. But just being sat on this settee talking about music was even more in a way. Anyway, At one point, there was this reggae track playing, and he grabbed hold of my left hand, and he said, "Listen." He said, "Listen." And I was like, "How do you mean?" He said, "Listen to the guitarist in this song. Listen to what he's playing, when he's playing, and when he doesn't play." And he was just going through this song with me, telling me he's about to play, and he stops, and he's playing, and he stops. And he says, "That is everything," you know. And he just had this gorgeous way of being and talking. And like I said, the thing was, he was larger than life in so many ways. You know, he was just a magical man. Absolutely magical. That's, you know, that's what magic is, when somebody's like that. Anyway, I got up and played with him again after that. But it was amazing to listen to him talk about music and how passionate he was about it and how he would know all these intricacies and stuff like that. It was just so amazing to just listen to him. I could have listened to him for days, years, you know, forever. Absolutely forever. And it was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Loved every second of it. And like I say, the thing is, every time I got up and played with Charlie, I felt like I was indestructible. Absolutely indestructible. Nothing could get to me. Nothing could hurt me. Nothing could harm me. I felt free to express anything I wanted through the guitar, because I had him there to help me through. And the footage there is, I don't think I ever stop smiling when I'm next to him. I'm so happy, you know. I was always so happy, and he just made me feel like if I'm like, never once when I was playing next to Charlie did I go, I better not do that tonight. I don't think I'll be able to pull that off. That never once entered my mind. Everything entered me, not my mind. I didn't think. I felt it. It was a feeling that Charlie would give you. It's not a brain thing. The way Charlie made me feel, it was deeper than that, and it was ridiculously deep, actually. Very, very strong, and I still feel it. Anyway, and I just like I could just do anything, and I could go out I was able to pull off things that I was like, I can't do that, and I didn't think, and I did it. Because he gave me the confidence to do that. And this is why Charlie's the perfect hero to me. Is because he's everything you would want a hero to be. You know, he would pick you up when you would fall. He would constantly give you reassurance. He was the perfect hero. He was exactly how you'd want your hero to act. He was warm, welcoming. He would give anybody time of day. Anybody who came up to him after a gig, he would give them time of day to say, you know, he'd say thank you. He would have pictures taken with people. He was just a beautiful human being. And that's exactly what I always would strive to be in that situation with someone. If somebody looked up to me, Charlie taught me you give them time of day. You give them everything you've got because they deserve it, you know. Because Charlie would always just give me time of day at gigs or when we were talking. He would always be there, and he would be, like I said, and he'd always have great advice. And he said, I remember him saying once, he said, a musician, no matter what, he says, if there's a chance to play, you'll find a way to get there to play. I remember him talking about his band, which I'll get to in a minute. I want to talk about his history. They had a gig somewhere, I think it was Spain, he was saying, and they had to drive to Spain in a bus. And he said, the thing is, he said, that's what you do as a musician. You know, you will travel hundreds of miles to do a gig. You know, you will. And because that's what you do. You love it. It's because you love to play. And it's just, like I say, he is the perfect hero. If I ever meet John Frusciante, Charlie is kind of what I want him to be. I want him to be warm and welcoming, and to give me time of day, and not just kind of go, yeah, well, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't think I'll ever meet John Frusciante, but you know what I mean. It's like, you know, Charlie, but he was exactly like. You hear about people meeting their heroes, and they're just not what they appear to be. They're horrible people, and they don't give anybody time of day, and they're just not very nice people. Then you hear of other people meeting their heroes, and they're just the best people in the world. They'll give you time of day. They'll talk to you. They'll be welcoming. They'll do what, you know. They'll sign things. They'll take pictures with you. You know, that's a hero. And Charlie was that to me. You know, he was my, you know, Charlie was one of my heroes. You know, in life, you know, in music and in life, Charlie is a life hero of mine, because he just gave so much. You know what I mean? Every performance he gave everything. You know what I mean? You know, he never once would like just kind of. It was never just kind of phoning it in. He did everything he did because he loved it, 100%. There was never any doubt that he loved what he did, and that's everything. He was an absolute hero to me and to a lot of other people, and that's what a hero is. And I miss him a lot, every day. You know, but yeah. So let's talk a bit about Charlie's backstory then, because Charlie came from Birmingham, and he was around during the 70s, and Charlie was in a band. He knew Black Sabbath, he knew Robert Plant, he knew all these, you know, he knew all those people, all those bands from Birmingham. He was in a band, a disco band called the JALN band. And you can look them up on YouTube, and they've got a couple of videos, and they're on Top of the Pops. And one of their hits was Disco Music I Like It, and Charlie's got a really awesome part in that song, where it's I don't want to sing it just in case it's copyright flagged, but he's got this wicked bit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the link for that in there as well. Disco Music I Like It. It's in the description box below. And and they were managed by Pete Waterman. And Charlie did that, and they released quite a lot of albums, and they toured the world, you know. I think they supported like James Brown and stuff like that, and you know they I think they had a couple of times they were in the charts, and they were on Top of the Pops a few times, and they were just a really cool band, really cool band. And after that, basically Charlie would, you know, he stuck in music. He stayed in music his whole life, and you know, he had his own recording studio at one point, and bits of that and the other, and just awesome human being. So yeah, I'll say all these links will be in the description box below. But yeah, he had so much experience, and he had so much knowledge, and he was willing to share all that with you. You know, and again, that's what a hero does. They don't keep anything to themselves. Everything's out there. It's like, if they know how to do something you don't know, they'll tell you, and they'll show you how to do it. You know what I mean? That's what you do to people who care. You know, and Charlie would do that. And again, that's why I say he's the ultimate hero. You know, he really is. He's like, you know, he's just the perfect hero, should I say? Because he really is. You know, he's exactly what you would want your hero to be. And like I say, I mean, he's an absolute life hero of mine, because he taught me so much, and I just learned so much from him. I got so much confidence from him to just do things and be able to play the way I want to play, and play how I feel, and stuff like that. And he was always there to kind of to help me along with that. And it's just wicked, just a wicked man. Like I say, he's a loss to the world. He really is. As I say, it's just, you know. But yeah, so yeah, so this video is all for Charlie, really, just to say thank you to him more than anything, and also to kind of to direct you towards him and his music. There's a lot of footage of Broombusters on YouTube. As I say, the JALN band, they're out there as well. And I love the fact that Charlie did disco music. He did disco music because that's where he had to be to make a living at that point in time. That's what they did. But after that was all done, he came back to his roots, which was reggae and blues and rock and roll. Chuck Berry, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley, and Bob Dylan. To Charlie said there's 3 people who have changed music. He says that's Bob Dylan, Jimi Hendrix, and Bob Marley. And I definitely agree with him. And yeah, I just a wicked human being. And every time I think of him, it's always a happy memory. It upsets me, but it's such a happy memory. I'm so grateful I knew him for the brief period of time I knew him. I'm grateful for those moments I got to play with him. I'm grateful for being stood next to him and him filling me full of his confidence. I know there's some pictures that this video is really hard, man. But I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it for Charlie, because I wanted to do this for a long time, and I knew this was going to be difficult, but I didn't realise it was going to be quite this difficult. But yeah, anyway, like I said, I loved him, and I appreciate all the time he had for me, and I appreciated every second I spent playing music with him and just talking to him. Like I said, it just made me feel invincible. That's what a hero should do. It should spur you on to be the best you can be, and always be good and confident in what you do. He just made me feel like I could do. I could do it as long as he was there. I could do it, and yeah, it was just wicked, absolutely wicked, awesome. But it's one of those harsh facts of life that we all learn. That life takes things away, and you don't know when that's going to happen. So it's super important to enjoy every moment you spend with somebody who means something to you, because there is only a certain amount of times you do that with somebody before they're gone or you're gone. Yeah, not to be on a downer, it's one of those horrible facts of life. We don't think that way. You can't think that way. It will destroy you. But it draws into sharp focus how important it is to tell people who you love them. Tell people you care about them. Show your appreciation to the people who appreciate you, which is in this case you are out there. I appreciate you so much every day. I am not in the least bit I can't think of the word. I'm not in the least bit kind of whatever about it. Every day I wake up and I am like, I can't believe the comments I get. I can't believe I've got all of you out there. It gives me a reason to be. And again, that's really important. And Charlie gave me a reason to be. And Charlie gave me a reason to just follow what I wanted to do with the guitar. Instead of kind of because he made me feel I was on the right track with where I was going, with just playing feel. Not playing what I think I should be playing how I feel I should be playing. And he just helped me with that. And it's a debt I could never repay to him. But I'm forever grateful to him. Wherever you are, Charlie, thank you. And I say the intro jam today, I tried to do a reggae kind of intro jam for him. Oh, and that was another thing I wanted to tell you. We were playing the local bar with Charlie one night, and this was one of the biggest compliments I ever got with him. Well, not one of the biggest compliments. I always got massive compliments, and it wasn't a small compliment with Charlie, but this one meant a lot to me, as well as all the others, to be honest with you. But I remember one night we played, was it One Love? I think it was One Love by Bob Marley. And we played, and I did a solo, and it was amazing because they would start it and they would get the whole bar singing. Charlie would start it on his own singing the One Love chorus, and he would get the whole bar singing before the band kicked in. And immediately you unified all these people. There was people in that bar who wouldn't even like reggae. There were people in that bar who wouldn't like rock and roll and blues, but everyone came together and loved it because of Charlie, because of him. He just dragged everyone together, and it's when it dawned on me that music is a language that just transcends everything. Your beliefs, your hates, your likes, whatever. Music brings everyone together into one thing, and that's why I adore it so much. Because I love music so much because of that. And we did One Love, and then I think we did No Woman, No Cry. And Charlie just got hold of my hand and he put my arm in the air with his. And he says, he's not from here, he's from where I come from. And that to me was a big compliment. Because... And he used to call me the local hero as well. That was another thing he said. He would always introduce me as the local hero. He was like, you know... He was just so... The confidence he gave me was unreal. It's like, you know, we've got local hero on guitar Dave Simpson here. And I just can't help but smile at that. I can't help but smile at that. You know, he was just awesome. You know, absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. So many good memories. Like I said, I just wish I had those pictures. I really wish I had those pictures. I mean... I couldn't look at them, but it's just having them, you know what I mean? You know, I couldn't look at them, it'd be too upsetting, but to have them, because later in life I will want to look at them, but I don't have them, and that hurts, man. That really hurts. Anyway, this video has been difficult. It's really difficult. But, like I said, I hope there's something, I don't know if there's anything you can take away from this video. I hope there is, but like I said, this is a dedication to Charlie, because he is the perfect hero. He's exactly what you'd want your hero to be. You know, uplifting, confident building, make you feel great when you don't, make you feel like you're on a million miles tall. You know, you can do anything. You know, make you feel like you can do anything. And if I can be 10% of what Charlie was to me, to anybody else, then I feel like I'm kind of doing something right, you know what I mean? Because he's just really changed so much. It's such a massive impact on me in such a small period of time as well. It's only a few years I knew him, but yeah, such a massive impact on me. Anyway, so yeah, I miss him. And like I say, it just does draw into sharp focus. So like, you know, if you just don't take time for granted, don't take things for granted, don't take moments for granted, enjoy every moment, because you don't know if you'll get to do it again with that person or with anybody. You know, you don't know what's going to happen, and it's a sad fact of life, but you can't live by that. You know, you wouldn't do anything if you lived by it. You would never get close to anybody. You'd never enjoy anything if you lived by that. So just enjoy it for what it is. You know, enjoy the moments. Because if you don't enjoy them, you will regret it when they're not there anymore. Like I said, I'd give anything just to have that conversation we were going to have. Just for an hour, 5 minutes even, would just be enough. But you know, it's one of those things, and I'm sure we've all got this, you know, somewhere in us. We've all experienced loss, and you do get to a point in life where life stops giving and just start taking away, and it's a hard pill to swallow. But that's why Charlie's always on the wall, though. He's always there, or he's somewhere. He's always nearby me. On me. He's on my CR120. He's on my CR120, and you know he's going to be on this amp soon. And I'm going to put him on my red Strat as well, because I think Charlie would have liked that guitar. I think he would have liked my red guitar. Yeah. So yeah, for you know, I hope there's something in this video you can kind of take away. You know, other than, you know, and then like I say, this is dedicated to him. Really important man in my life. Absolutely hugely important man in my life. Life changing man. Actually, there's certain people that come along in your life that change your life, and Charlie's one of them. And it definitely made me feel that like I'm not, even more so recently, it's like I'm not gonna not enjoy what life I have, you know, where I am or what I have, you know, however, you know, whatever, you know, things. I just want to enjoy it. I want to be able to kind of and try and like I say, try and inspire people the way Charlie inspired me, you know, because that's important. And I think that's massively important to inspire people and to play how you feel and to express yourself through music and love music, you know. So Charlie, thank you so much. Like I say, he's been on my wall, and he will be with me forever. And I will keep this forever. And like I say, I got my memories. I got the videos of me playing with him, and I'm just so grateful to have known him for the little time I did know him. I'm really grateful, and yeah. So I hope there's something in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. And it's been really difficult for me. But I hope there's something in it you can take away. And like I said, this video is for Charlie because he is the perfect hero. I can't express that enough. I want to keep saying it because he really is. He's exactly what you'd. If you ever meet any of your heroes, Charlie's exactly how you'd want them to be. Like exactly how you'd want them to be. You know. And that's how I strive to be. If anybody holds me in such high regard and I get to meet them, Charlie taught me what to do in that situation. I'm a shy, socially awkward human. I'm not particularly good in social situations at all. Due to I'm shy. I'm a very shy human. But if I've influenced somebody to that point where Charlie's influenced me, and I get to meet that person, I will give them all the time I have at that point in time, and I will try and help no matter what, you know, or just whatever, you know, because it's important to do that. It's important to do that. You know, I don't like people who don't do that. I don't get it. I don't understand why you would do that to people who look up to you. I don't understand it. Because Charlie to me was, like I say, he was, you know, he's so high. He's up there with John Frusciante and Jimi Hendrix to me, Charlie is. Charlie's more on the life side of things, definitely. But he's still in music, and he's still in guitar. But he's a life hero to me, and he was my friend. Which is more than I could ever have asked, really, you know. And like I say, I miss him a lot. Every day I miss him. I can, you know, feel that loss very heavily. It's the same loss I feel for my grandma as well. It's such a heavy feeling, you know. And he just was always the voice of confidence, and he always will be the voice of confidence in my head, you know. Yeah. Now, if I don't meet you again in this world, I'll meet you on the next. And just quickly to end on, Little Wing. We always used to play Little Wing, and Charlie loved the fact I could play Little Wing. He loved the fact I could play Little Wing. And he loved the way I played it. And every time I play Little Wing, it's just Charlie's song to me. You know, that's Charlie. Charlie gets in my head, and I feel him when I play Little Wing. And it's a heavy song to play, but I want to play it all the time because it just reminds me of him. And I can play it, which is nice. It's not like Never Fade, where I can't actually physically play that song. I can play Little Wing because I can. I can't play Never Fade. maybe one day I'll be able to, but I can't right now. But Little Wing's for Charlie. That Little Wing is Charlie's song, so when I play it, it's always for him. And we actually did a gig. We did a gig the year after he passed away, 2017. We did a gig in the same bar we used to play, and it was a dedication night to him, and it was the trio playing. We played some reggae songs, and we played some rock and roll. We did like Johnny B. Good and stuff like that, and we did like Stir It Up and No Woman No Cry for Charlie. And this was sat on top of my amp. I had this sat on top of my amp, so who's there, and we played Little Wing. There's footage of that somewhere, I think, as well. I don't know, but we played Little Wing, and I had my back to the bar. I couldn't face people, and I just remember looking towards my amp. I was using my orange. I remember it so clearly that I just turned and looked at my orange amp, and there's Charlie's face just sat on top of the amp, and that smile, this amazing smile he had that would just make you smile, make you happy in the strongest possible way. You would never be sad around. You could never be sad around Charlie. He would always make you happy, and I just saw him, and I just couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it, and I just burst into tears playing Little Wing. I just had to keep my back to the crowd. There was quite a few people in there, and I had to keep my back to him. I couldn't look. I just wanted to look at Charlie's face as I played it, and it just absolutely broke me. But I just kept playing, and I was all for him, and I hope he heard it. Anyway, okay, so that's this video, and like I say, this is for my friend Charlie, my hero. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. Sorry about how overwhelmed I am by it all. But it's we all know how that loss feels, and you know, I just wish he was still around. I would have killed to have got him on the channel. I would have loved that. I would love that so much, and I didn't. And it's not, and it can't happen. I would just love to have filmed a conversation with him. Yeah, just once. Yeah, just 5 minutes. I can hear his voice now in my head. You know, I can feel that confidence that he brought, that mile-high feeling of just total, like, invincibility almost. You know, like, you're totally invincible at that point in time. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this vid for what it is. Hope you enjoyed the intro jam. Charlie, I hope you enjoyed the intro jam. I was trying to channel you. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you again for another video soon. Have a great one. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. Yeah, like I say, tell people you love them. Tell people who mean something to you, you care about them. Tell people who want your help, give them your help. You know what I mean? Because it all seems limitless until it isn't. Life is cruel, and it throws things at you when you're not ready and you're not prepared for it. And you need to tell people what they mean to you, because if you don't, you regret it in time. I just, you know, if I could go back in time to that night in London where we played, I would have said, I'm not leaving, I'm staying here. You know, I want to have this chat with Charlie before we go. I don't want to leave until we've had that chat. Yeah. So thank you for much for watching, everybody. I'll see you again. Thank you. And thank you, Charlie. Thank you, mate.